Hello, hello, and welcome. I am so glad that you have found my channel today. I am Webweaver, and this is where I do a one card tarot reading just to give us a little bit of guidance for the day ahead. Just a couple things of note, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. And I am using the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck. Um, This deck is different than your traditional tarot. The cards are different, the meanings are different. So I do have notes here that I typed up that I refer to give you a summary of what the book says the card means, and then I give my a little bit of interpretation to it as well. Okay, so we will go ahead and get started here. I do have a little tickle in my throat. The wildfire smoke is moving more prominently into our area out of Canada. I assume that's what I'm feeling in the back of my throat, so I apologize if I'm a little bit froggy here this evening. All right. This reading will be for Tuesday, June 3rd. All right. What do we need to know for the day? What's our message for the day? What do we need to know for the day? What's our message for the day? What do we need to know for the day? What's our message for the day? What do we need to know for the day? What's our message for the day? What do we need to know for the day? All right, so I will split the deck. Take the card that was on top here. I do not read reversals. And we have 11 of water. This is emotion and intellect. Usually 11s are about balance. So we're probably looking at a balance between emotion and intellect. So yes, here we go. A balancing and realignment card that addresses any emotional disharmony that may be influencing your choices and environment. It also represents the need for us to see the whole and how an imbalance can affect it. See that you are often motivated by both love and fear, which are two halves of the same whole, with each flowing into the other. An unhealthy imbalance can occur when fear becomes the dominant force and prevents you from breaking free of painful situations or relationships. It also addresses the subject of suppression and expression. Suppressed emotion can lead to illness. If you express instead of suppress, you will move through life with more ease instead of dis-ease. So we are being asked for tomorrow to find a balance or a realignment between emotional disharmony that is impacting you in some way. It looks like there's two possibilities here, and I'll bring you down so that you can see this a little better. Pardon me. It could be that you have to find the balance between two emotions. The description I just read to you talks about between fear and love, which is very broad. Could be love of yourself, love of others, fear of loving yourself, fear of loving others, but it could be any emotions that you're feeling. It doesn't have to be fear and love. That is just an example that is given. Um, Maybe it's something between happiness and joy, or anger and frustration. But finding a balance there, because if one of those opposing forces gains too much power and they're both not there, then you're not in balance. Um, it could also be the suppression versus expression. And that is very important to remember, that if you have an emotion that you are feeling, whether it be anger or sadness or frustration, and you are just keeping it in, it's still there. It may not being expressed for other people to see it, but it is still occurring in your body. So instead of it occurring outwardly where people can see it and you can release it and you can work through it, holding it in your body allows it to still have an impact, but the impact is going to be on your body, not outwardly, not something you can deal with. So um, keep in mind the need for balance between your emotions, finding an emotional balance, but also not suppressing things. It doesn't mean you have to have an outburst. It doesn't mean that you have to be like my toddler, where suddenly everything's fine, but then all of a sudden it's not fine, and holy cow, we're suddenly screaming. And it doesn't need to be like that, but finding a way to say to someone, hey, I need to get something off of my chest, I need to get this out. Or maybe it's taking steps to find a therapist if it's that kind of suppressed emotion that you need to get out. There's nothing wrong with that. So tomorrow we need to see about balancing our emotions and our intellect, realigning ourselves, making sure that we are in harmony, emotional harmony, and that we are suppressing things and expressing things in a healthy manner, not suppressing them and causing us dis-ease or disease, right? Okay, so that is it for today. Remember, if you appreciate the messages, be sure to subscribe. I am going to be creating some new content here. I've been working on it for a while, um, and eventually I will be ready to go, but I'm getting there. And so if you want to keep up with new content, whether it be these daily readings or the longer videos about the Wheel of the Year and the Sabbats that I'm creating, make sure you subscribe. And I will be back tomorrow for the next reading. If you need to pause this video, I think I've got you as lined up as you're going to be. Feel free to pause it and meditate on the imagery. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Blessed be.